Descent into Darkness, a Call of Cthulhu campaign.
Hello and welcome back to Deathwatch's Call of Cthulhu campaign, Descent into Darkness, Season 4, The Lost City of Pillars. This is episode 37, and I am Keeper Travis. And we return to the scene of battle where something like a huge tentacle covered in a viscous slime that shines in the blood moon and ending in a twisting and pulsating cluster of smaller tentacles or feelers rides across the sand in the direction of the rocky hill you are upon, Mr. Citizen, and you as well, Mr. Thompson. But before we get back to it, let's get an introduction from our investigators.
I'm Brandon playing Bartholomew Wentworth, and I ain't afeard of this giant worm, and I'm gonna throw dynamite into its mouth.
I was thinking the same thing.
Just like they did in Tremors.
I'm Charles Stanton, and I too am preparing to chuck dynamite.
I'm John playing Joseph Thompson, and I don't think I brought my dynamite.
No, I was thinking about this all week. Right. We have at least two bundles of dynamite.
Yeah.
And we're not going to put that on the NPCs. So one of us has at least, or two of us have at least one bundle each. We just got to figure out who. Because we were going to collapse that tunnel.
You and
you
and Wentworth.
Okay, well, we are in combat round number 6 at the top of the round, and Charles Stanton is our acting character right now. So to refresh everything, you have that worm, the sandworm, about 200 or 300 yards away. Why don't you linger? I wish that was the default. Oop, wrong place. Piper's going crazy.
She knows when we start recording. She was being all fine and nice, and the second you hit that record and did your speech, she started trying to bite my hands, start trying to play.
Yeah, so about 300 yards from your current position. Remember, we're using Joseph Thompson as the marker for where you guys actually are. The camp still has more than a dozen of these nice fellas running around just trying to defend their livelihood from your random attack. Yeah, but it seems like you weren't too...
If it was a random attack, why did they waylay us?
That's true. You were just going to go collapse their tunnel. They should have allowed that to happen.
Yeah, it's not theirs. It's public property.
Now they've brought more death and destruction into the world.
I mean, I was extremely surprised to find them out here. So I think it all counts.
I'm as shocked as anybody.
Yeah, this is their aggressing onto us.
Oh, wait, actually, before we get into it, let's do a touch-up on the rules since I started getting so foggy. I went and read through them again. So indefinite insanity is losing 1/5. We were right on that number, but I did not realize that they did a character sheet update, so I'm going to open yours, Mr. Thompson, just as an example, but you guys can open yours. When you look at the insanities section in the top right there where it says indefinite insanity, that number to the left of it is your threshold. So if in Thompson's case he falls below 25 or reaches 25, that's when he's indefinitely insane. I think he actually technically would be indefinitely insane, but
no, I still get 31.
Yeah, good. But look, if we add what'd you lose, 11 altogether?
Yeah.
So if we add 11, and that resets each game day.
Okay.
A day defined as a period where you can rest enough from the horror to recover. So it could go on for days potentially. Excuse me. Let me reset this. So yeah, at his sanity prior to the game, it was 34 for his threshold, and he lost down to 31. But we'll go ahead and just start there, okay, John?
Sure. As I'm cruising towards 0 anyways, so...
You are in a state of underlying insanity currently, where you're prone to delusions, and a single point of sand loss could throw you into a bout of madness.
I think he was always in that state. I mean, look at that character portrait.
None of this is important to me. I want to bark out an order to Flanagan to focus on that worm.
Okay. It's a long ways away from him, though.
Yeah, good thing he's got a medium machine gun, which we know is anti-sniper weapon.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it is true, at least in Shadowrun.
Yeah. So back to what's not important to Mr. Wentworth. Build and fighting maneuvers, the way that works is the penalty is applied to the fighting maneuver for each point of difference in the build. And if there's 3 or more, then the maneuver is impossible. So it's on the aggressor.
Okay.
Only. Or the actor, I should say. And then there is a penalty die for firing into melee, on top of hitting a different target if you fumble. Have a second in another Diet Coke.
Hey. Why?
Another one?
Yeah.
No, I'm good. Hey.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we can return to the scene of the battle where Wentworth's barking out orders to Flanagan, and Charles Stanton is about to act.
Yeah, do I have one of the bundles of dynamite on me?
I would say...
Do you want a luck roll?
Well, you can sort it out between you and Thompson who would carry it on your side of the things.
Apparently Wentworth wanted to blow up wanted to blow up the tunnel.
Yeah, I definitely have one.
Right.
All right. So, do you want to go for high roll, John?
No, you can carry it. I'm not really a demolitions type person.
Well, I'm not either. I'm going to bank on the fact that it's probably a 25 to throw something and then not fumble it. Oh, where is throw? There it is, 20.
What's your... Oh, I was going to say mine is 20 as well.
Yeah, that's the base.
You could take it.
All right. So, yeah, I'll sling my rifle over my shoulder and I'll pop a match and light my cheroot.
Okay.
And was that 2 actions or is that 1? I don't know how many I can...
No, I think you're all right. Just narrating that much.
Yeah, and then I'll ready the dynamite, and I'm going to have to wait and see how fast this thing moves on its turn, so I'll kind of hunker down and be peeking over the rock. Apologies, Mr. Thompson, but I left my big game rifle back at camp. Going to have to get creative.
And use the dynamite. Trying to pull up the throw rules, how far your range is.
We're also going to have to figure out...
I'll be right back.
All right. We're also going to have to figure out the bundle of dynamite.
Yeah. So you use throw to hit a target with an object. It can be hurled up to strength divided by 5 in yards. The effective range can be extended up to strength divided by 2 in yards, but a penalty die is applied.
So 8 yards.
And then you can do 16 with a penalty.
Okay.
And you saw it move fully over the ground for 1 turn, and it made... was
it 50 meters? Or
50 yards about.
Yeah, about that, huh? Right.
Maybe I wasn't going to get started. Jeez.
So, yeah, I think that'll be the end of my turn.
And let me look at the dynamite, too. See what kind of damage it does.
But just so you kind of know going forward, so was it... I got maybe 2 or 3... round? Was it almost 6 rounds, technically, I guess, before it is on top of us?
Yeah.
So, Stanton's going to watch that worm as it's getting closer. He's going to probably cut the fuse to blow up at the end of the turn after it does its last move towards him, type thing.
Yeah, so a stick is 4d10, so I think your bundles... If I remember, the end of season 2 came in either 6 or 8, usually. So,
good lord.
And then it loses its effectiveness every 3 yards, basically. So it go from 4d10 to 2d10, then to 1d10, with a maximum of a 9-yard blast radius. All right.
So I cannot throw it outside of safe blast range. The only saving grace is that it's probably going to be going downhill.
Yeah.
And we have rocks. Oh man, I was going to run anyway.
All right, Ray Flanagan has been given this command. I also was using a marker on these tokens. If they have the little castle thing on them, they're currently in cover. If they have the little archery target, then they have like a held aim action. So Matvey has one there that he's been holding just to keep track of it a little better than off the top of my head like last time. So you want Ray Flanagan to shoot.
Yeah. I mean, if he needs to move, that's fine, but that's where we can put that big gun to the best use.
Well, he'll say you guys will have to move. We'll have to move closer. Yeah, we can't move down there. There's a bunch of nice fellas with rifles down there. We can't go straight up to it, is what he's saying. We'll have to move back around in these hills.
Yeah. Well, do what you got to do. Take Matvey with you.
All right. Or Marco.
Or, yeah, Marco.
Okay, so he puts the bipod down on the bar and starts hustling it down that side of your hill in the little...
Can I get a roll to see if he'd follow Wentworth's orders?
Oh, that's a good question.
Something?
Yeah.
Because
you don't think he would?
Well, there's a lot of guys down there,
right?
And it's his job to suppress them.
Yeah, that's true. You can give. I will leave it to your force of personality here, Mr. Wentworth.
Yeah, start barking orders.
You got a good intimidate or anything like that?
No, apparently not.
Give him a charm.
Yeah.
Give him a big smile, a clap on the shoulder.
Just roll one of the, besides persuade, there's not enough time in an order to persuade them. You can fast talk them, charm them, or intimidate.
Let's see.
If it's intimidate, it will have to be at, oh, no, all of them would be at the regular level. Where's the psychology? Yeah. Which one are you looking for?
Intimidate. Apparently I don't even have this sliding off my eyes or what.
Did they move them into a social skill category?
Oh, unless they have like different setups for the skills, it's right under hypnosis for me.
Okay, there it is.
Oh man, I like the. I'm gonna have to get a guy that does that.
I had an NPC that did it to Whitmire, I think. Season 2.
So what was the other ones?
Charm, intimidate, or fast talk. So he just says, sorry, Mr. Wentworth, I'm not moving till Stanton says otherwise. He wants me here. This is where I'm going to be.
Fair enough. It's headed towards him, not me. I don't care.
So he will pour those other 6 rounds that are left in his bar down at Cultist D. Try to keep them group Cultist D. What do you call it? Suppressed. All right, so we're set up there. They have cover.
Wham.
Automatic fire. 2 penalty. Dang it. How does he do it? How does he do it?
He's a madman.
Okay. So these guys are going to have to start dodging. Any that succeed will throw another penalty his way. Those that don't will be hit by the machine gun. So we got 1 success in the group. And so all 3 of the rounds that hit will hit. Looking like for 4, 9, and 7 damage that he pours into 3 of these. That's 2 good solid wounds in that group, effectively taking them out of battle. Let's see. Well, one of them stays. All right, that brings us over to Marco. He is going to take aim this round. And on top of that, Group D is also suppressed. They won't be able to act when their turn comes around. What's a good symbol? Oh, like my back hurts. That'll be a good one. Suppressed. Which brings us to you, Mr. Wentworth. So he ignored your command like a good soldier because you're not his commanding officer. But what do you want to do?
Well, so after that thing had died, I wanted to get back to my rifle.
Yeah, I think you had clambered your way back up there and you shot the sand dweller that Marco was in a tussle with and killed it.
Yeah.
And then, so yeah, with your next action, you could make it to your rifle and pick it up.
Yeah. So I want to snatch that up, and then I want to start moving towards Thompson as fast as I can get like, dig out my dynamite and move in that direction.
Yeah, so with 100-yard hexes, I think you have a move 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can do times 5 in yards, basically. So we'll just do an even, like a couple of turns of movement will get you to the next hex over. If you, let's see here. So if I grab your token and move it, like if you hold down Alt when you're moving it, it'll drop it in between. So that's how we'll know you're on your way in that direction, right?
No, it's like those, was it? Not that ogre battle, maybe where they're kind of running in place in between hexes.
Yeah, because they are pretty large, so it will take a little while to get up there. Right now, you're kind of heading to where Matt Bay's position was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And he's maintaining his overwatch, trying to be unconcerned with what's happening in the camp or any sandworm, and keeping an eye on Flanagan, so he's holding his shot for now. So Group E has an action. They're going to group fire on Flanagan's position. Let's see. Make sure I got them at the right difficulty. They have a penalty due to cover. Okay. No luck. Group A will fire at your position, Mr. Thompson, Mr. Stanton. They still have a good 5 in their group. They also have a penalty because you guys are both in cover. Now remind me, Mr. Stanton. Oh no, you took an action to look at the situation. I was trying to remember if you were still in that full cover from last session, but I think you had gotten out of it. All right. No luck for them. Okay, Anwar is going to sight in on the sandworm. He's going to take an aim action, though. So Group C will fire at Ray Flanagan's location. There's only 3 left in their group. They will also assume a cover position again. No luck. And Group D is suppressed, so it's up to you, Mr. Thompson.
All right, I guess I'll kill them all.
Let's see what you got.
Should have reloaded, so...
Yes.
How far away am I from that, the new thing?
It's about 300 yards. With your scoped rifle, that would make it a hard shot. But you do get a bonus because it's a large creature. It's bigger than any of the big game creatures you would hunt in Africa, like, say, bigger than an elephant.
Nice.
Oh, my God.
Critical.
Might save me the problem of having to waste this dynamite.
Oh, man. I'm going to roll your damage out for that.
In the chest.
Well, it's a worm.
How do you do critical damage, though?
Well, it automatically... roll your combat section. See, it gives the extreme damage. That critical doesn't give. You can be a suggested bonus by the player to the outcome, or a whatever the keeper comes up with in this case. So you do a big 28.
Yeah, what is it? Like Chaosium and RuneQuest, criticals just ignore, armor.
Yeah,
it's a special thing.
Yeah, we'll do that as well, and we'll also say. It's kind of reared up a little bit like a snake, where its head, where all these writhing tentacles or fillers are at, is you sort of shoot right into that mouth, completely blast off one of the fillers, and then, the round is absorbed into the corpulent body of this thing. It's still alive, as near as you can tell, but after such a wounding shot, it starts to burrow right back into the ground. Well, it actually does it in the turn because it's its action. So it burrows down into the earth, and you see its tail shaking before it finally gets underneath the sand.
Flips me the bird too with its tail.
Right. Which brings us to the top of round 7 and Charles Stanton. So, from your viewpoint in this combat, that's what you're most aware of, is that the sandworm just went underground again.
Are we on solid rock?
You guys are on rock, yeah.
Okay. Good shot, Mr. Thompson, but I doubt that's the last we'll see of it. Hopefully it is, though.
I think it'll take more than that to bring it down.
So I'll tuck that dynamite in my belt, or do I have some sort of pack or something?
Everybody,
a satchel. They all carry a satchel.
Yeah. So I'll just stuff it in there, and I'll take a shot at this group until that worm rears its head.
So I think all of them are in cover, so you have one penalty applied.
All right. It's a normal success.
Okay. Do a hit location for me. Right leg, of course.
Just peeking out behind a rock.
Yeah, his cover, he was popping out. He was standing. He was trying to aim up and actually locate you guys instead of taking these wild shots. And your round slams into his leg just above the knee. And yeah, he lays there, bleeds out for a few moments, or after a few moments. Which brings us over to Ray Flanagan, who will spend his action reloading. Now Marco will take a shot. He's got a bonus for the aim, a penalty due to the enemy's cover. Miss. Which brings us to you, Mr. Wentworth.
Okay, so the worm's gone? Like went underground?
Yeah.
Well, I'll just, finish out as much movement as I can, and I'll fire at one of the...
Yeah. If you want to keep running, you can fire at the end of it with a penalty, or an additional penalty, I guess, since you'd be firing at targets with cover.
Okay.
So...
Yeah, I'll just...
And you can track your, let's update your range here, 200. So, yeah, it would be at the normal level, plus the double penalty.
Well, how about I just stop there and then I'll take aim?
Okay, sounds like a plan. Okay, so through the cultists, firing up at Flanagan's position. Oh, which of those groups did you want to hit, Mr. Stanton? Sorry, I didn't mark that.
No.
Was it just the one that's kind of closest to you?
Yeah, I think that'd probably be.
All right, so they have only 4 left in that group now. Firing at your position with penalty. Dang, fumbled. Yeah, so they take this last shot and then they kind of start fleeing back. They're sort of despairing the fact that their sanity-crushing sandworm that could go toe-to-toe with any one of you with no problem was seemingly warded off. So they're despairing a little bit, and they run out of their cover after they throw those shots.
I have a sinking suspicion that toes are exactly where that worm's going. It's going to come right up from underneath us.
And then Anwar will take his shot.
If it doesn't, that means there's just a sandworm
Just
roaming the
wandering
desert.
around.
I'm going to live here now.
Hopefully there's a time limit on that.
All right. So it looks like Anwar does for one of these fellers.
Nice. Going to get himself some skill ups.
Oh, no, that's a kill shot. He actually kills one outright. Whittling them down. Okay, so these guys are no longer suppressed. Just waiting for the luck to turn. A lot of rolls.
Yeah, I remember.
Not this time. Mr. Thompson, your action.
I'm going to kill that worm.
Shoot into
Well,
the
you
ground.
don't have a sight on him. You can...
Nope. Know exactly where he's at. My insanity tells me.
The ground is actually pretty effective at stopping your bullet.
It's all
Sand.
They kind of use that, to make barrier.
Yeah, but
Nope.
is sand good at stopping the great Sathagua?
That's a good question. Sathagua, guide my bullet.
I'll take a shot at one of the guys that's running out of cover, though.
Okay, yeah, so you don't have any penalty on them. It would just be at the normal difficulty.
Ooh. Miss.
It's because we mocked Sathagua.
How dare you. All right, so just a clean miss. Guess I better put him on the invisible, only the GM knows layer.
As I'm,
That's a fun place to be.
It's probably because I'm keeping an eye out for that worm.
Yeah, it is a distracting thing. Now, you don't see any, you do feel tremors in the land as this thing has burrowed below ground, and you continue to feel them, although you don't get a sense of, approaching or anything like that, just a general shaking. Yeah, let's see.
Well, let's see, Mr. Thompson. We had about 6 turns before it reached us, going at 50 meters, or 50 yards a turn. If we begin to count down, we might be able to light this dynamite off and just set it in a spot.
It travels faster underground.
That's what I'm dreading. They brought it up just to show off, but it's at its slowest.
It was supposed to make reasonable people run away. All right. Combat round 8.
Little did they know that there are no reasonable people this
It's
far
the
out in the
wrong
desert.
party for that.
We lost our reason back in Cairo.
Yeah, the sun baked it out of us.
All right.
It was that jazz music.
Stanton, so you have this fleeing group. You can hear a voice yelling at them. You think it's from that central figure, but they are distraught at the moment.
Yeah. I think I too will keep a feel out for those tremors.
Okay.
Just tracking if they're getting closer, because Stanton figures that worm's coming this way still, and he'll take a shot at the fleeing.
Okay. Yeah, as an option, you can always use your action to like spot hidden or listen to. This round, you figure you got time, so you may want to stay with the shot. But in the future, just know you can use your action to actually get some indication of where it is. All right, so shooting at the guys that are fleeing their cover.
Maybe. I hate that guy in the center. He mocks me. I was like, actually, it's from... There we go. Yeah, we'll take the fleeing guy.
It's still at the normal level until they get another action to get further away with no bonus or penalty.
Okay. Success. Low damage.
It's enough for a wound. Let me check. So once you knock them out, they're pretty much done for until they get some healing.
Oh!
Oh.
That's like through the tailbone.
I gotta do like a power roll or something to keep going on that guy. Yeah, so your bullet crashes into the pelvic area of one of the fleeing cultists from behind, and that particular shot damages a lot of important structure, and he just drops seemingly dead. All right, so that brings us over to Ray Flanagan, who reloaded. Did he reload?
He needs to.
He needs to.
That's right. Handle that for me, please.
How many is it?
20.
20?
And Marco going to aim again.
No, that's wrong.
Brings us over to you, Mr. Wentworth, who has aimed.
Yeah.
Took up a position there just below Matvey. You still have a good view of the camp and everything like that. Everybody is still in cover except for that one group to the northern part of the camp that broke and is running. So there are a couple of folks you could...
Yeah, that's what I would take aim at, the people that I can easily see, so...
Yeah, so it would be at I think you're still at the normal difficulty, with no penalty, no bonus.
No bonus.
So just normal?
Yeah, just normal.
But because he aimed, right? Is his...
Yes, you do have a bonus.
Okay.
For aiming. Sorry about that. I even marked it on your character sheet.
Nice.
Hard success. 13 damage.
Yeah, roll location. That's enough to kill one of them outright.
Head.
Very good.
I should get something for that.
The guy, you're thinking maybe it's a habit of yours when you go to kill somebody. You're like, what kind of fellow was this guy? And you can see the way he's running. Like, he's bounding. He was a runner, maybe.
Yeah.
And he's in that mid-bound, but then you just take the head off.
He reminds you of your brother, who was also a runner. Flashback.
Yeah. And is also dead.
And the body...
Orange sunset sky.
The body has all that momentum, so it just runs in the sand for like 3 or 4... Not running, but, it falls down, slides for 3 or 4 feet. And it's dead. That group is nearly done for. This brings us to Matvey. Continue with his job. Okay, so you start to see some different movement here, where one of these groups breaks from their cover. This is more of like an ordered retreat, you think, but nevertheless, they're out of cover. And these 3 guys kind of start moving off to where, that train, the bit of track comes out of the side there. They have about, a stretch of 80 yards of track there that they're running to. So they about make it halfway. Move them. This guy remains in his panic, fleeing. Makes about 40 yards further away. Okay, half a sec here. What is this fella gonna do? Okay, so you see him under the canopy there. He had that folding table set up and all the dinner arrangements there. And there was like a chest that had been brought out as well. And he starts to interact with this, big wooden studded chest, right? Kind of like you might find in a Dungeons and Dragons dungeon. He pops the lid on it, we'll say this turn.
Luck roll to see if it's a mimic.
If he fumbles any sort of casting on it, that would be a fun thing to have. All right, Anwar will take aim this round. Okay, so these guys sort of join in a retreat while this one stays in position, firing up at Flanagan with a penalty. Nope. Which brings us to you, Mr. Thompson. So you have quite a few more targets without cover. They're not moving fast enough to make it a harder shot for you.
Do I get a bonus for the scope?
The way the scope works is it just extends the
range.
Effective ranges.
All right, I'll take a shot at another running one.
Okay.
So
I'll spend the 4 luck on it.
All right, yeah. Go ahead and roll some damage for it.
Got him in the foot.
Nice.
dude,
13 damage to his foot.
Stupid.
So do you like Group D or C, or do you want to kill off that lone runner that was kind of closer up to where you guys are?
Yeah, we'll kill the runner. He reminds me of Wentworth's brother.
That fateful day.
Flashback 1910 Montana.
Right.
So do you want to buy
unlimber
some
my
insurance?
rifle.
No, get out of here. I don't like insurance. It's of the devil. Later that day. Now you can unlimber your rifle.
All right. Brings us up to the 9th combat round. And Mr. Stanton, still no obvious sign of the sandworm, but you can see that they are making some sort of tactical retreat for the bulk of them. But
part of me wants to take a shot at that center dude, the leader guy, again. See if I can press my luck, maybe get past whatever juju he's swinging.
Well, you have no idea what occurred to stop it. So it's anybody's guess. Except for mine. I know.
Yeah. But I know I was dead on.
Right.
I never miss. Until I do.
Yeah.
So, I'll take a shot at him.
Okay. So
But
there's no,
even then, it was an intentional miss. Warning shot,
So nothing? One way or the other?
well, you can roll it because it still counts for a check.
No, bonuses and all that stuff.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is a hit, or it should be a hit, I should say. But the guy does not respond as though he's struck. It's too small of an object to see at the distance, so like what the end result of it is. But something is definitely
This is worse than
stopping.
the worm.
Yeah. So brings us over to Ray. He has his machine gun reloaded, and he's going to just fire on these guys out in the open. He'll do 2, kind of more like there, so at the normal range. He'll do 2 bursts, 14 rounds.
All right.
Chris, at the regular difficulty this time, I expect great success. Oh, dang it. All right, so it's a hit, half of which, so that's 3 rounds into D here, we'll say, for a 10 and an 8 damage.
No, Flanagan. I was like, no, that was Constitution roll. Okay.
Yeah.
That's them.
I blame Flanagan.
Yeah, well,
Still.
he's the one who fired the bullet.
So you can see there was 2 guys in this group for that first burst, and he guns one down outright and wounds the other one. That one drops, is off his guard for a little bit, or off his center, but he gets back to his feet and starts limping in the direction of that. So let's see how the other one goes. Burst number 2, this time with a penalty. So the other 3 that are making this retreat, you see the sand kick up around them, but no connection. Bring us to Marco, who has aimed. He'll take a shot, this time at normal difficulty with bonus. Oh, forgot the bonus. But just narrowly misses at a 78 versus 75, unless somebody wants to spend 3.
I'll give him some luck.
Does 11 damage, which is a kill shot. So now there's only 2 figures running towards that opening, and you see Marco drop one Wentworth, as you're siding in for your next shot.
Yeah, I'll shoot at the next one.
Okay.
Hard success. 15 damage to his
Right arm. Come on, show me right arm.
left
foot.
Dude, there's something wrong. I'm just saying.
Oh, let me take a look at it. I'll tell you the weight.
Yeah, I was, was it me and Travis were talking about this a while back, and it like seems really weighted towards like melee. Like
Yeah.
that kind of makes sense if you're you're
Yeah.
swinging a sword. Maybe not the feet and whatnot, but like limbs.
Left foot.
So abdomen and chest have a combined 13 points between the two of them, right? If we add like head, that takes it up to 15. If we add, so you got 15 there, right? So then your left foot, by contrast, has only 2 points on the weight. So
Yeah.
in the table, the way Roll20 does it, it would appear twice on the list, right? I guess I could move it down to 1, but I had to keep eyes at the set for what a 1 would be in the table, right?
Yeah.
And I maxed everything up by that. Unless I'm completely misunderstanding how tables work, but I do not think I am. All right, but good shot. You kill him, overkill him by the left foot shot. You blow it off, and he rolls on his back, grasping his calf where the foot is now gone, separated by your rifle. Blood spurting into the desert sand, and he screams until it falters into just a weak weeping, and then
Mother.
he dies. Matvey doing his job. Let's see, Cultists E. They're going to stay in cover, continue to fire upon Flanagan's position. Still got the full complement one of these days. Nope, not today. So now there is only one lone figure who's out of cover. All right, so the strange thing that you're witnessing, because you're sighted in on him, Mr. Stanton, trying to figure out how his bullets aren't getting you, is once he opens this big chest, he crawls into it. Like he steps into it like a kid playing hide and seek, and he kneels down and closes it over his head.
I'm going to put a lit stick of dynamite into that chest. I hope the bastard realizes that.
Okay, Anwar will take a shot at the one figure that's out of cover. It's still at the hard range for him, though.
Mm-hmm.
Did it.
Nice.
It appears that I kind of like this. It's exciting.
Oh, that's supposed to be regular. So 25 versus 45. So it's a wounding shot that Anwar has on the guy's. Is this the very same? Yeah, so this is the other one that got wounded by Flanagan with the machine gun fire. So he was kind of hunched over, limping across the desert, and Anwar's shot takes him again in the arm, and now he's like doing a slow crawl, trying to get there, and firing wildly behind him, one-handed with his rifle. Not really.
We could recreate that scene from Unforgiven,
All right.
their first kill. Get him some water. We ain't gonna shoot you.
Just on the off chance we'll see, maybe he'll make a shot just for fun. Give a double penalty.
I'll watch him crit it.
Nope.
Okay. I was gonna say.
All right, Mr. Thompson. So I suppose you would have a good position to look at that too, that this guy sort of disappeared into a chest or closed in on top of him. Maybe that's how rich people avoid their problems. But there is another guy wounded by Anwar who's still crawling towards the train, the opening, the tunnel in the Rock Hill.
Now I'm picturing Dr. Andrews and Stanton both in chests peeking out at each other.
Right.
This is how I spend my time, Dr. Andrews. What about you?
My chest
Was
Gilded.
Otherwise, you got five guys still sitting in cover.
oh yeah, I'll take a shot at one of those.
All right, so it's at the normal difficulty with one penalty die.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So, well, it's a penalty, so he takes the highest of the two. So that is a.
I could have gotten 89.
Just add the penalty to it.
Yeah.
Oh, it would have been 97.
As I'll and then I'll start the reload.
Okay.
So is that group still
That's the one guy that's
still
crawling.
all shot up?
Yeah,
Okay.
twice shot.
Does he look like he's gonna bleed out, or is he just?
I mean, that's the ultimate, probably fate for him, but it'll take a while.
Just enough time to cant a spell and bring a meteorite down on us or something. Okay.
So we enter the 10th round of combat, Mr. Stanton. You still feel a tremor every now and then without, applying your senses to it in a more focused manner. You can't really tell, where it's coming from.
Is it getting stronger, or does that require the more focused senses?
Yeah, you'd have to, either listen or spot something that's occurring on the surface to give you a clue.
Let's see. Listens 51, spots 72. I think I'll try to spot hidden.
Okay.
And no other action than this?
Just that. Yeah, you're actually dropping your ability to sight in on anything, just to look or listen, whatever you're doing.
Okay, yeah. I was going to see if I could get a hunkering down, get more of a full cover, but yeah, we'll just...
Well, I'd say if you do listen, you could probably do that if that was the direction you
We'll go
going.
Spot then. No penalties, no bonuses?
Nope.
Hard? Is that what we're aiming for?
We'll just do normal.
Extreme.
Yeah, so you can see, there's saltbrush and stuff that grows here and there.
Mm-hmm.
And also you see but anyhow, it's not like Tremors style where there's this furrow.
Or stuff getting sucked down.
Yeah, but you just see some movement, like you'll see a brush kind of go up for a second. It's slowly moving to the north.
And that's north on this map too.
Yeah, right.
Okay. I'll point it out to Thompson just so he's aware of it, I guess, look to the north, Thompson. Yeah. The ground's moving. There's our beastie.
I'll nod to him as I load another round into the rifle.
All right, Flanagan's gonna fire into those guys under cover.
6.
Yep, his remaining 6 rounds. He's just gonna go for the more suppressing tactic. What a crack shot!
No, he's really been killing it this time.
These guys will opt. They will try to dodge if they can.
Yeah, with Flanagan, it's like feast or famine. Because what is it, some of those where it was 67 damage to the group, and he's just, it would be gross to actually
watch it.
Yeah, real meat grinder stuff. Oh, dang average citizens just dodging all over the place.
There's enough targets that didn't know that we won't have to apply a penalty to his roll. So he still hits 3 of them. Looks like the damage breakdown is 6, 12, and 7. So 1 is outright killed. And then we got to do a wound roll for one of them. Or no, for both of them. And we'll knock that down 1 more.
These guys have been really pain resistant. They just stay conscious, most of them.
Even with the 45's constitution and stuff. Yep. Fundamentalism at work. So
even though they're just normal, average citizens,
just regular happy people,
not cultists.
It's the power of a positive attitude.
Of a positive attitude.
They all live out in the
probably
suburbs.
American, yeah.
But he put those last 6 rounds into the. They were hiding behind a tarped off bit of whatever this camp needed, and poking out and firing. But you see Flanagan just chew it up, by a happenstance.
Is it the barrels? No.
No.
Okay.
One of the ropes holding the tarp down is, hit by a bullet, and it snaps and it comes fluttering off. You just see crates and whatnot under it,
and some doves.
And some doves fly up. And 2 of the guys fall to the onslaught.
Mr. Wentworth.
To Marco.
Nigel, I want to take his face off.
Yeah.
Who will aim this round. And that brings us to you, Mr. Wentworth. So you have, one very wounded guy. I'd say since he's crawling, I'll go ahead and give him the low profile. It would be harder to hit him. And then the other 3 guys that are poking out and firing, covering a retreat, would also have a penalty due to their cover.
Yeah, I'll let the nearly dead guy go, and I'll take aim at one of the 3 that are in cover.
I'll make a note of that on your token.
But this happy fella above all of them.
Sorry, let me take him off the map. He was killed.
You couldn't abide him being happy a moment longer.
He's the one who's got to go.
Yeah, I'll take aim.
Okay. Matt Vanya does the same. These guys are suppressed. Trash that off the thing. Anwar aims. take them off. Dying man crawls 6 more yards. A fast crawl. We'll say 5 more yards towards the tunnel. And Mr. Thompson, there you are with a fully loaded Jeffrey rifle. 3 targets behind cover.
And a snake approaching or worm?
Yeah. Well, you don't know. You just feel a tremor every now and then. I think actually Stanton said it's moving north. Did you say that out loud? Yeah, so you heard that. Which isn't precisely towards you guys.
Yeah.
It might be running.
Yeah.
All right, I'll try to shoot one of the ones in cover.
Okay. Just a penalty on it?
How close is that guy to the tunnel?
He might as well be 1,000,000 miles away from it. But he's like, he was 60 yards from it, maybe.
He's going to give it a good old try.
Yeah, he'll probably bleed out well before he gets there.
So, success.
Got a success for 15. That's a kill shot.
Not in the left leg, it's not.
Well, we have to imagine that it transfers upward because you got to hit something that is visible.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
The round is so powerful it splinters bone, which goes shooting through his abdomen and chest.
No, there's a lot of stuff in the leg that you don't want to mess with. So
pretty much you want to get shot nowhere.
Yeah.
It was a through and through that ricocheted off some rocks in the background, came back and hit him in the chest. How about that?
So so we come to the top of round 11, and these ones that had been firing upon you and were recently suppressed by Flanagan do not poke their heads back up again after Thompson's most recent shot. So they're just hiding, fully behind their cover right now.
We want to call them out,
Stanton. And there's no other moving figures in the camp that you can see.
From my experience, completely average citizens don't respond well to being called out. That was a joke. You can give it a try if you want, Mr. Thompson. I'll keep an eye on that worm.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn, I guess. Do I need to roll for that, or
no? You marked it in your mind, and you didn't go on to do anything else from there. So you see, it's making a slow northward progress, slower than you reckon. It's slower than it moved on the ground. Actually,
that's a sand check.
It shouldn't work that way. But yeah, that's about all you can make of it. Ray will take the opportunity to reload.
All right,
and Marco will hold his aim shot. We're now, Wentworth, we're at you. Those 2, you're pretty sure there were 2 that were left in the camp there, but they're just hiding. They're not returning fire or anything like that. You can make out the guy's Pilgrim's Progress towards the train opening. It's great perdition.
Yeah, I'll hold my shot until I see one of the other 2.
Yeah, nobody pops their head out this turn, so we come back around to Mr. Thompson.
Yeah, I'll shout out that for them to surrender. Just throw down their arms and come out. They won't be harmed.
Yeah, go ahead and do a roll, social roll.
Could I do persuasion?
Well, persuade, I mean, you can.
As obviously, it would have to be over the course of a couple turns, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, you would just start doing it, and hopefully nobody puts a lie to what it is that you're saying to persuade them. But
until they come out, they're just not following the orders. But yeah, I'll shout that out to them, is that if they throw down their arms and come out, they won't be harmed.
All right, so here's what happens as we head into the 12th. You lose sight of the secondary evidence of the creature's movement. Either it went deeper or there wasn't enough features on the surface to indicate what it was doing. And for those training their sights on that area where this other expedition were hiding, you see, like, to the side, like a rifle get thrown out into the sand, right? And so at your option, for those of you who have trained their sights in that area, you can take a sort of reactive shot to it if you want, as one of them sort of tentatively comes out with his hands up.
Yeah, no, I'll hold my fire.
And after like a beat, the other one, seeing that his buddy didn't get shot by anybody, I feel like I should.
Oh, that's some buddy.
I feel like I should do something here, though. My agent of chaos.
Matt Vey?
Because these will be two new recruits to the Church of Zathagua.
Well, actually,
No. No, sorry, it wasn't supposed to be hard. It was just a regular one for Ray, so he made it. Unfortunately, he does not take the opportunity to gun them down. So everybody holds their fire, basically. And unless you don't want to hold your fire, Mr.
Well, I'm
Stan.
not aiming, so I can't really do
Yeah.
anything. I was just contemplating the idea of if he actually... I mean, I guess we would take prisoners. Like, there'd be times where we'd want to take natives, and
Yeah.
so, I think it would be, I guess, realistic for him to actually be able to resist shooting a bunch of surrendering cultists, but...
well, plus we can stake them, tie them up and stake them a little bit to north while we're looking through the camp.
Let him kick.
And if that worm comes
feed the
back,
worm.
it'll get them, and then we'll have warning. So,
Well,
Yeah,
now
so
we've got 3 or 4 Bedouin to interrogate 2 cultists, and this
Yeah,
is
there
your
were 3
opportunity to dynamite that chest.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And that one is still crawling. He's let his rifle fall by the wayside, but he's hoping you guys don't notice him. So Mr. Thompson was going with a persuasive bend there, to get these guys to come out. He's like, we actually don't want to kill all of you. Now that we've killed 90% of you, we feel that we're okay,
Sated.
and you guys can come out and we'll treat you good.
All right. While he's doing his negotiations and they start coming out, I'll lean over and I'll whisper to him, lost sight of the beastie. But when they actually throw out their rifles, I'll motion to Wentworth, let's go down.
Okay.
While he's negotiating. You can come with us, but keep your snake charming going, Thompson.
Yeah,
And
but my plan is, I don't know if anybody has any rope, but if not, I'm sure there's some in the camp, and we'll just
Yeah, we've got rope.
I'm pretty sure we're made of rope.
restrain them, take them back with us,
Yeah,
make them our
Anwar,
sex slaves.
he says, you want me to stay up here?
As
Keep my sights trained on him, Mr. Stanton.
Yes. Stay with Thompson. Keep an eye on it, or keep an eye out for him.
Okay. So as far as that, Ray will probably, and Marco and Matt Vey will stay in position as well until they hear directly from you to move. But so Wentworth and Stanton head into this camp
Yeah.
to where these guys are. They've preemptively knelt down as you approach. But so you can get a better sense of this camp, and the thing that Mr. Thompson missed in the reconnaissance period that you now see, because it becomes obvious when you get closer, is that underneath one of those tarps was an actual, a plane, a biplane, right? It was just fully covered, but you can make out the shape better. You just missed it on that day.
It wouldn't happen to be the plane that was buzzing us.
You would have to have him take a look at it to get the precise
make and model.
Right.
All right. I wanted to shoot that plane down. I think I probably could.
But that was hundreds of miles away, and it did come from the south, so it that doesn't quite match up. But
Okay.
These things have a range of about 300 to 400 miles before they got to land and refuel. So you guys make that out. You make out. Well, you can smell it when you get there. They have these barrels of water, like a wine barrel type, filled with water. And you just see them sitting in kind of a mess area. You see it in the open flap of one of these tents. But there's no other figures around besides these 2 guys and the 3 Bedouin that are in that canopy area.
I'll warn Wentworth as we're going down there that, their boss ducked into the chest.
Oh, okay.
So keep an eye on that. I'll go and grab their guns.
Yeah.
Keep them out of range while Wentworth...
I'll tie him up.
Yeah.
I'll tell Thompson he needs to see this.
So you notice
I'll give a whistle,
motion down to Thompson.
Yeah. You're going to want to see this, Thompson.
So there's something
I'll
else
come down.
that is actually the most odd once you're aware of it, because you pass a couple corpses of these guys you shot and the 2 men that are kneeling there, is that every one of them that you've seen look identical.
This is weird.
there are some differences, like different haircuts or facial hair, that sort of stuff. If you examine it long enough, you might see a different scar in a different place, but they all look like twins, basically, or whatever that would be, because there's more than two of them.
Yeah, right.
Anyhow, but yeah, they're looking at you, and they don't seem terribly concerned, at least these two that are living. I mean, you did see fear responses for sure in the firefight.
And they do have some sort of survival instinct, throwing away their weapons, so they're not like golems.
Yeah.
So anyhow, you're standing there in front of them, Thompson. You can start clambering down to come into the camp, and pretty soon you see that plane.
I'll go and examine it. See if it's airworthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll out your flying ability.
Oh,
Loser.
Nope, probably not.
Well, it's just a model he hasn't practiced with, probably.
Well, you recognize it. I don't know if you were there to spot that plane the other day or make out what it was. You don't think it's the same one. It does look like a British one. They were they had more, what do you call it? Warplanes in the area, but a warplane is sort of a stretch, because in a warplane in this era is like put a machine gun on it and like manually throw bombs out of the
Does
out of
it
the
have
area.
guns on it?
It does have a gun on it, so it sits two people. You have like the gunner and the pilot. Now you assume it must be worthy because it looks to be in good condition. Now the problem you have right now, and now that you examine it, you see that they had marked off a stretch of the desert to the north that they were going to get prepared for a landing strip, but they hadn't quite got there yet.
Can I roll on navigation and just see if I could guesstimate based on the maps that I've been poring over about where they'd be coming from with this?
With this plane?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, roll a navigation.
Hard success.
Okay, so that's the thing that has you sort of scratching your head, because where you are now, the only thing that serves as a point of civilization are those little splat Bedouin villages you've been passing through, and you for sure didn't see anything like a landing strip in them, but anything beyond that would have been out of their range. So further south in the Hadramaut, where the British are, they're too far gone. The plane would have had a place to stop and fuel to get all the way out here.
Well, find it rather odd, Mr. Thompson, that there's nothing civilized around enough to keep that plane fueled. It's all out of range this far out in the desert.
Are you taking like the tarp and stuff off?
Well, I would imagine that they would have to have a way, or they would need a way to refuel it if they were going to. But what would they be flying to, other than just reconnaissance?
I'll
Well, you guys can all do an intelligence roll. Go ahead, Brandon.
Well, yeah. Well, I was gonna say, while they're looking at this plane, I wanted to sling my rifle and reload my peacemaker,
Okay.
and I'll start asking the
Is I'll use some
prisoners some questions.
All right.
Probably questions related to what they're trying to figure out, like how did you get out here, and what's, where does the plane go, and where does it come from?
But we still got
Do you speak English?
this camp ain't secure yet. You still got that chest.
Do your
there's
questioning to
Yeah.
the Cotton Eye Joe theme.
All right. Let me pay the respect to this intelligence roll I called for, which Thompson spent some luck on to get, and Stanton also received. Were you going to throw one out there? Oh, goodness. What has occurred? Sorry, half a sec. Let me refresh here. My screen went white.
Game Master's not in the session, guys. Looks
What
like.
we say goes. So I'm taking this plane up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
It's got missiles on it.
F-14 Tomcat.
Well, that'd be the ultimate way occultists would go about their stuff. Time travel back into the past. No one's looking for you there.
Okay, so here's what you guys come up with this idea roll. You all have succeeded at it, all at the regular level. Mr. Thompson, with a bit of luck, is that the reconnaissance thing is the right idea. If you were leading an expedition, even a casual one like these people were leading, that would be the usefulness of a plane. You can guess that they didn't know where Irem is. They didn't find it, or they hadn't heard back from the sand dwellers that were in Irem, or something whatever the reason is, they didn't know exactly where it is. This plane was supposed to help them in that search, right? So they got it here somehow for that. As you looking around, you can see, you actually spotted one through your scope earlier, that they have fuel for the plane for refueling. So that draws your mind and your attention back to this bit of track that runs into the tunnel. How are you going to get a plane in here? If you peek under the top, you can see that you'll have to fix the wings onto this. Like, it's not fully set up. They'll have to put the plane together a little bit. It looks like it was broken down enough to load into a car and move it here, right?
Like it came on a train.
Yeah. But it would be preposterous to think of a train that would run out here.
Yeah. Yeah, which we covered last time.
Yeah.
Like, there's not, just physically, a train can't travel the incline that it would require.
So, yeah, you guys are all, kind of sharing a look as similar thoughts are going through your head. Maybe you have different ones at different times, but as Mr. Stanton said, the camp is not fully secure.
It's secure.
That canopy with the Bedouin that are tied up there.
He worries too much. That's all he does is worry about.
He needs to be more like these guys.
If there was something to worry about, they'd be shooting at us. Are we being shot at?
No,
I don't think so. But I do want to get if those prisoners are secure, then I'll stick with Stanton if we want to go inspect that chest.
We got the chest, we have the camp, and we have that tunnel.
Yeah,
and they're all a problem potentially. So yes.
First things first. Then
you guys do have a lot of Overwatch on you right now.
Yeah.
Everybody's got either a rifle or a machine gun trained in that area, waiting for something to move that isn't you. So what's the first one? The chest?
Yeah. I'll warn Wentworth too. I'll be like,
I should have hit this man several times. Bullets just seemed to slip him.
Yeah, make a spot hidden as you're walking into underneath that canopy. You might even have a bit of trepidation, expecting, I don't know, like a magical invisible wall or something like that.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I'll kind of have
right. It doesn't stop that when you do it. Wentworth and Thompson, you each pick out, what was it, 303? Is that what you were shooting?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you pick out the part of the bullet that flies away from the bullet. Like, it's not even like it met some resistance and smushed up. It's still in the condition it was once it left the cartridge.
In midair?
Yeah, like it would have whatever the flight affected the bullet shape. But other than that, nothing else. Like, it didn't impact with anything hard that stopped it.
Just dropped.
It just got to that point and dropped as near as you can tell. Yeah. And you both pick it up out of the sand there,
Yeah, and then I'll say to Thompson, just something like your area of expertise.
I don't remember reading anything like that. I mean, it's definitely not like what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can give a mythos, or anybody with mythos can give a myth. There's always an off chance, Yours was higher than that.
No, because if I broke 5, then,
oh, nice.
If I broke 5, then I would take all the insanity. But now it doesn't matter. So,
no, I can't check mark it.
No, it's not.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah.
What do I do?
Yeah, this game sucks. Yeah.
I was looking through those notes you gave me. And...
Hey, now that you mention it, I did eat some. I got a fortune cookie at a Chinese restaurant.
Well, no, you have a surprisingly cerebral thought, because if you think back to stuff that was kind of smoothed over, you guys had been journeying for days, and he had been teaching you for days how to cast this spell. And in that time, he was going over the theory that was conveyed to him in the Liber Ivanus by this sorcerer Iban in antiquity, that, what exactly was happening to this damage that's supposed to come your way. So you have this idea of it going above and below the phase that you currently exist on.
Yeah.
And so you think that whatever happened, this guy had a more perfect understanding of that, Mm-hmm. It doesn't work as crudely as yours,
right.
Because part of the thing that you might think about that could bother not you, but somebody, is that this damage is not going nowhere. It's affecting somebody somewhere at some time in these different phases. But maybe he has something that works more perfectly, or a deeper understanding perhaps of the same spell.
Yeah, that's what I'll say. This seems to be an extension into above or below. Then so it's
So-
got to go
so as
somewhere. It doesn't go
above.
nowhere.
I'm
So
just-
as below.
I'm just
Snake
guessing.
eats
So
the
he's
tail.
not affecting the chance, kind of like we are, where it may ricochet off, right, or seem
Yeah.
to slightly miss, as he's got a more
Well, you're
perfect
kind of like-
understanding where his will just defy like all laws of reality to
Yeah.
just stop.
Well,
it.
I'm gonna guess in the game, Wentworth, might lack the verbal
Gadzooks,
IQ,
boy,
and he's
you've
just
done it.
thinking this stuff in the back of his head, but he doesn't know how to convey it into words. So,
Yeah.
or if he tries it, it might be hard to guess at. But anyhow, you have 3 weary and beaten Bedouin. Pretty sure they're not sand dwellers because they're wearing the black
Mhm.
of the Bedouin.
Well,
And
they only
kind of-
think that they've been beaten.
We were
Just wait till we get done with
Okay.
I'm just giving you the trappings, and then there's that table that was set for a meal. The food is still on that table, a half-eaten pork chop and some picked at salad. And there you have the chest next to the chair at the head of that table where this character, is it Malcolm Green?
Malcolm Gaston.
Malcolm Gaston?
Mm.
Malcolm Gallagher?
Mm-hmm.
Disappeared.
Is it big enough for a person?
Yes.
Okay.
Just so. Not a big person either.
All right. You cover it and I'll open it?
You were
I'll,
still thinking about that dynamite.
I'll
No,
train my rifle
you and Thompson.
on it.
Yeah, you and Thompson cover me. I'll open it.
Okay. I'll take aim.
Okay.
And I'll go over
Me
and I'll, is it
It has like the metal piece that flaps down over
The ring.
a ring that you can
Yeah.
put a lock in. It's not locked. You just have to flip it up and
Yeah, so I'll try to do that as quickly as I can, take a step back, and
yeah. So
he
you
has dynamite ready to go, huh? I knew it. All this time.
one bundle in his mouth, one in each hand. Their fuses are burning.
Getting me back for all that BS and Mech Warrior that we did.
No, you have an empty velvet-lined chest with nothing in it except there are symbols scribed on the inside of the lid and around the boundary of where the velvet starts, just beyond the borders of the chest. You can give me another mythos roll if you'd like here. Actually,
Bugger.
belay that. Mr. Thompson, you have seen writing that you have not been able to decipher in the Liber Ivanus, but you recognize similar symbols. You believe that Iban referred to it as Aklo.
The symbols were Aklo, or the symbol,
That all
writing,
the
I
symbols
guess?
together, they formed a language, particularly a written language called Aklo.
Okay, well, I'll gasp. That's Aklo.
But there was not enough. You're not a linguist. You don't have a
Maybe
knack
we
for
should
that,
get
so-
the professor down here, though.
I don't know
Or
if I
take
trust
it
the
to him.
chest, though.
One of the two. But what is in the chest?
Nothing.
Nothing.
The bugger got away, and that makes me worried because someone can go wherever he went, unless there's a false bottom. That means you can step back through. At least as far
Well,
as I'm
unless you
concerned.
drop that dynamite in.
That's what I'm thinking.
Well, you guys do have a bit of meta knowledge on this particular phenomenon. Not that it helps you now, because it's meta.
And that worm went off to the north. I wonder if there's a secondary location. Or multiple
Second
camps.
camp. As we could start up that jet plane, find out.
We still got that tunnel to worry about too, and these Bedouin. Let's just lock the chest for now. If he does come back in, he'll have to figure a way out. And we'll worry about whether or not we should dynamite it then.
All right, so what's next on the agenda? Interrogation?
Well, so there were tents that these guys had poured out of, right?
Yeah, I could go look over.
We'll just
all
check that and make sure everything's secure, and then it'll be time to, we can get Anwar to come talk to these Bedouin.
Yeah, so they're
Part of me doesn't want to bring these people back to our camp.
Yeah.
If they can't find Irem when it's right under their nose, I don't want to lead them to it.
Right.
so taking a cursory glance in all of the tents to make sure that the encampment is well and truly empty. You can see there's some that are like a barracks where you have, basically 10 or so people sleeping in one. Others seem to be used to store, like one you see digging equipment, lamp oil, several crates of dynamite, and food.
Excellent.
You see that a quick count gives you about 20 of these large wine barrels that are filled with water. And then there's all the stuff needed to run the plane.
All right.
So, oil and then the fuel that the plane uses.
I think right now, after whatever quick interrogation you wish to perform, our main concern should be getting this water back to camp. The camels are dying rather quickly, and we need some of them at least to get back out of here.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We could call our Overwatch down here, maybe have them watch the tunnel just in case anything comes up out of it, and we could begin transporting, or having a couple of us transport the water while you do your interrogation.
Okay.
Get the answers you're seeking, hopefully. I'll also reload my gun while we're sitting around.
Okay. All right. So you're going to begin interrogating.
Yeah.
So you have these.
I'll have Thompson help me with it.
Right. So I guess me and Wassa. First off, I'll call Marco, Flanagan, and Matt Vey down, and have them start overwatching from the camp.
Okay.
And then me and Wassa will start gathering the camels we rode in on.
Right. To start bringing
Water.
Yeah, you can. It'll be difficult. You won't be able to carry as much water on one camel because these barrels weren't designed for that, but you can get like a few on them, right? So you'll be able to get some of them back at least now, but it would probably take more than the one trip with the camels you have with you on right now. Okay, so Mr. Wentworth begins his interrogation, starting with a few basic questions, but what I'm most interested is Mr. Thompson, who's in an underlying state of insanity. You have a bit of disassociation. You're going around and doing the things that Mr. Thompson does, and you're checking on very practical concerns, but a huge part of you is not really that concerned with all that. Your
I really want to get
is-
in that plane instead.
You also got a box full of alkaloid.
Right.
You could climb inside. It'd be all around you.
All those thoughts, they kind of slip away from you, and while Wentworth's speaking, there's a tap on your shoulder. Somebody trying to get your attention.
I'll turn and see who it is.
It's the young Thaddeus Grunwald, but not as you remember him, as he was when he died, with, his left eye, a gaping wound. And he says, Mr. Thompson, we have to get to Irem. Time is of the essence. And his voice, speaking behind you is accompanied by this chorus of, you don't know what it is. It's like a hissing sound, but there's some sort of vocalization to it. When you look behind them, behind Thaddeus, you see Ibrahim and his wife standing behind them with their destroyed heads. And you realize that this vocalization is coming from a hissing that's escaping out their necks and ruined vocal cords, almost like a chorus, like there's a lilting quality to it. It rises and falls. And also amongst the grisly group behind them is Dr. Sala. He's in the best state. I think he was only shot in the chest and killed outright.
Goes to show why I should always use both barrels on any target. Leaves too much of them
good.
behind.
You're
And
all
he just
finally
points
here.
up to the comment. Yeah. So that's where you're at. He's urging you to focus on Irem.
As we found it, though. There's people exploring it as we speak.
But not
That
you,
is what-
Mr. Thompson, and you were called here. You know that.
Well, maybe if I could get this plane working, I can get over there.
The destiny that awaits you is beyond these crude mechanics that you're interested in. You know that, Mr. Thompson.
Well, then, and you were so eager to get here, as let's go, and I'll start wandering off in the direction of Irem with him.
He's like, well, walk with us, and he takes your hand almost tenderly in his, like two little kids walking out into the desert. And, okay, so Wentworth, you kind of see some movement out of the corner of your eye, and you just see Thompson starting to wander off alone in some direction, like back towards Irem.
Okay.
So anyhow, your questions.
Thompson.
You have no problem hearing.
I'll turn around and say, you won't believe it, as Thaddeus finally made it, as we're going to go back to Irem.
What the hell are you talking about? We got to question these, the prisoners.
As I'll look up and stare at the comet and say that we really don't have time for that.
He has an odd expression on his face, like a kind of the relief of a homecoming. I mean, Mr. Thompson's old enough to have lost people in his immediate family or people that were close to him, and occasionally you might have a dream, and when you're in that hypnagogic state, you forget that person is actually dead, and you have this relief, this moment of like, oh, it's so good to see you again, which is what he's having with Thaddeus and the rest of these people. That's what the expression that's coming out on his face. Now, Mr. Thompson, these delusions that you're having, you must treat them as real, as though they are real, unless you want to deny them, which you can do at any time. All you have to do is succeed at a sanity roll. Just know that failing to deny these delusions comes with more sanity loss.
I have always found that having an additional doctor in your head is better than just having your own thoughts. So now you have a Snakeovich, a military specialist.
Is he moving at a normal speed?
No, it's like a walk in the park.
Okay, all right. Then I'll turn back and I'll start asking some questions and as long as I can see Thompson, I can catch up to him, but I'll ask what I can.
Right. So when you ask one, they hit you with sort of the standard prisoner of war thing,
Oh, okay.
The first one says, my name is Morton Grant, and but they just give you an occupation, right? He says, I'm a professor of geology, and that's all he'll say. And then if you turn to the other one, he says, my name's, let's see, trying to think of another G last name.
Francis Grant.
No, it's a Malcolm Garwell, and I, am a professor in astrophysics. We'll say that's the two you have right there.
So they just say that no matter what question I ask them,
without threat, just the initial questioning. That's what they say.
All right, I'm pressed for time. I need to know what's in that cave, where it leads. And the first person who answers me gets to live.
They kind of, they look at each other and they share sort of like a small smile, like a secret between children. But they might actually detect the threat in your voice. We'll see. Go ahead and do the intimidate out there.
These guys.
We'll get you good at it.
He was setting up his perfect party. It's like, in Wizardry, how I had like about 5 different clones. That's what they were named, clone 1 through 5, so I could just use them as heal bots.
Right.
Failure on the intimidate.
Do you want to push it?
Yeah. Can I get a bonus? Because I have my peacemaker point.
Roll the bonus, actually. Let's do the bonus. You have a bonus because of the unequal power.
No luck.
Yeah, so they just, they're just like, the drill.
Yeah. Let me search them real quick and see what they got on them.
Okay, so they don't have much because of the state that they were, that this attack occurred. They woke up. So, like one has like a lighter in his pocket, and the other one has a little pocket knife in his.
Okay.
But other than that, they're sort of not really even fully dressed. One guy doesn't even have his boots on.
Okay.
You think that would be the Malcolm or the Morton Grant one? As opposed to the Malcolm Garwell.
All right. Well, I'll execute him.
Morton or Malcolm?
Morton. I
Okay.
don't like that name.
Oh!
So yeah, he watches that happen, and he's like, "Oh, I guess you're very deadly serious. So, you want to know where that tunnel leads?
Yes.
Let's go have a look at it."
Well, I can
Find
do
out
that
together.
without you. I want you to tell me What's in that tunnel? Where does it go?
Well, it depends on where you want to go. See, some questions are hard to answer unless you know the motivations of the person asking them. So where is it that you want to go? Sorry, I didn't catch your name, sir.
Okay.
He does have an American accent.
Yeah. Let me do an idea roll to figure out how I should question this guy. Because I'm out of patience in real life. And in the game.
Give me a psychology as well along with it.
Success on psychology, failure on intelligence.
Okay, well, you know you have encountered people that have a certain ideology that they profess to believe in, and this ideology may contain the notion of, my sacrifice will benefit the greater good. My sacrifice will mean that I go on to the ultimate reward. And you can see this internal struggle in Malcolm's face of trying to hold on to that notion while the very real threat of his life coming to an end, But at this stage, the notion is winning out,
Yeah.
It's possible that a little more encouragement in the realm of the here and now, something that tethers him to the present moment, might soften him up to that. Because, you look at him, he's unwounded. He's kneeling there in the desert. He's hale and whole. And he can still, even though he saw his companion gunned down, share in this comfortable belief of some sort of greater outcome if he holds the line.
Okay. All right. At that point, then I'll put my peacemaker away and pull out my knife, and then I'll kneel down, hunker down in front of him.
Okay.
You're like, well, your friend there is your brother because you look the same. He's dead.
Something like that.
But I'm not going to do that to you,
Gonna start carving.
So you see a little twitch in his face that his particular upbringing, you think, he's been schooled to try to stop those types of emotive outbursts, but nevertheless, one gets through.
Yeah. And can we still see the one that was hobbling away?
Yeah, you see like an arm flop forward, and he pulls himself a little further along the desert.
Yeah, so I'll point to him and be like, I think he'll probably bleed out soon, maybe. Or, maybe he'll hang on, because people can stick around through the craziest things. And I wonder what out here is going to start chewing on him.
Oh, well, that was just Matthew. The best he ever achieved was a elevator operator.
Right. And now
can't say much for him.
Now look at him.
Okay.
But I want to what I'm getting at is his friend was just killed and his problems are over, but
your problems can go on for a long
they
time.
can go on for a real long time.
Well, perhaps if you narrow your question, I'll better be able to answer it. You want to know where it goes, and I answered truthfully. It goes where you want it to go if you have the will. If you want to know where we came from, well, that's a separate question.
Yeah, I do. Where did you come from?
Well, I believe...
How did you get here? How did you come to be here at this?
We rode a train, a short journey.
From that tunnel?
From that tunnel.
And where did you start the journey from?
I believe you call it Syria.
Okay. You got on a train and you ended up here?
Yes.
And who is that man to you? The one who... Malcolm Gaston, the one who...
popped...
went down into that chest there and disappeared.
Ah, yes. Well, you might consider him the leader.
Mm-hmm.
He came to me and told me of a great destiny.
And what is that great destiny? What were you seeking out here?
He looks around to make sure nobody can hear, and he says, Irem.
Have you found it?
No.
Would you be interested to know?
I would,
How close it is?
Do you know where it's at?
Yeah. We came from there. How long have you been in this camp?
A couple of weeks.
What have you been doing with those Bedouin? There used to be 4. Now there are only 3.
Are you concerned about the Bedouin? I wouldn't think you... Well...
They're close to my heart.
They're an important resource for the great work we're doing out here.
Or the worm.
Yeah. That's where I was going next. Are they food for that creature, that worm?
I suppose, in a way, yes.
Where did it go?
The worm?
Yeah.
We can call them, but sometimes they're a little hard to control beyond that point.
How do you call them?
Well, how long do we have here? Sorry, I still haven't gotten your name.
Yeah, I know. Where do you think your leader went?
Well,
Is
to
that
correct this little bump in the road, I'm sure.
what would you like from me?
Well, let's go to Irem together.
I'm afraid not.
I have some specific knowledge.
Such as?
Well, sort of a bit of leverage I have, if you believe me.
I do. I do believe you.
Well, then let's find out together, good sir.
No, I'm going to leave you here. You're going to die of thirst. You're going to be lashed to that post right over there. Maybe the worm will come back and eat you, or maybe you'll die of thirst. Maybe you'll chew your own hands off. What do you think? I'm going to take him over there and tie him up. Can I still see Thompson?
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we pause for a minute? Mr. Stanton, did you want to do anything about the wandering Thompson?
I guess. I mean, did I hear any of his exchange?
I mean, you guys kind of all were standing up there. You had come back together after looking at the camp, and you were preparing to. If you were around if you wanted to observe the interrogation, then you would have heard some of what he said to Wentworth, at least.
Unless Stanton's performing it, he doesn't really care. Just get the information. He might suggest, what's my cook's name? Vincent. Vincent's rather skilled in this regards too. If we want to bring him down. But anyway, yes. If Thompson's like, we need to go to Irem, I'll kind of shoot Wentworth a look. Like, I've seen this before. This is whatever, like journey madness type stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'll
well, if you want to get back to Irem, stop lollygagging, Thompson, and follow me. We need to get the water back there.
I'll pull on, what was his name?
Thaddeus.
Yeah, young Grimwald's hand and say, this way. Come on, Thaddeus, take you to Irem.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Thompson, you forgot you don't need water anymore.
No, the camels will be faster.
You carry your own water. But yes, you are right. The camels would be faster. So when you're watching it, like he walked off about 20 paces, and he had his hand up like it was holding something. Like it would be an awkward way to walk for somebody, right, with their hand at that angle.
Did I hear him talking to anyone?
Yeah, you hear his responses, right?
I'll look back over at Wentworth. I'll make like a shooting motion and shrug.
Should I just gun him down?
No. But
I'll shrug back and...
All right, to the camels, Thompson. Help me gather them up. Get them back here.
Yeah, you kind of find that you have to match the pace that he's keeping in a way. Like if you speed up, he doesn't speed up with you. And he's not going very fast, but just deliberate. And
you and Sala can take the camels back to camp and inform some of the men there that they need to bring more camels and that we have found water. Can you do that, Thompson?
Yeah.
So of course I can.
I wasn't talking to you.
Oh, sorry.
I was talking to Thompson.
Go ahead.
Sometimes.
Of course I can.
Well, jolly good.
So yeah, Mr. Thompson, as you pass Matvey's location there, Thaddeus calls up into the hills and he's like, Matvey, it's time to go to Irem. And Matvey stands up and starts walking down to join this little, at first. So you kind of see, I mean, you don't hear that exchange.
Yeah.
You just see Matvey come out of his sniper's nest there and join up. When he gets within like 6 feet of Thompson, he grabs like an invisible hand there. Thompson, that he's grabbed Ibrahim's hand.
I was keeping him alive because he was pointing the direction to Irem. Mm-hmm. I technically don't need him any longer.
Well, I don't know if I can't assume that this won't lead to something, so I'm going to follow Thompson. Because as soon as he's out of our sight, he's just going to keep going.
This is in and around the interrogation.
Yeah, I don't care about that guy anymore. Like, once I've got him lashed up to that pole, probably like the same one where the Bedouin are.
Yeah.
That way they can get revenge if they want.
Yeah, the Bedouin aren't silent when you do that. They're in Arabic, you're pleading for help, free me.
Yeah.
Free me and I will follow you.
Well, I don't want you to, but I'll free him.
Yeah.
Be like, you don't have to follow me. You're free. Go wherever you want. Here, this gift. Have your vengeance.
Huh. Hold out your hands and put some water in them.
Yeah, right. Like,
They're
there's
weak
gotta be-
enough that they don't kind of like seek the vengeance right away. You have more immediate concerns, you know.
Yeah.
But they have a moment of terror when you're like, go where you want, and they're like, where? It's just the desert. There's nothing out there, and no man can survive on nothing.
That's true.
We must follow you, otherwise you consign us to a death just as they did.
Right.
When one follows God,
Please
one
let us.
always has hope.
Allah has
Well-
brought you here.
It's up to you. I'm going this direction.
You can tell they'll need some recuperation, though.
Yeah.
But that won't stop them from trying to follow you.
Well,
you know?
I mean, there's definitely still water barrels
Right,
around
yeah.
and stuff, right? So,
Yeah.
and
All right,
we'll
so-
have people coming and going as they're carting all this stuff back, right?
Yeah, so that guy who was crawling towards the train tunnel opening, he finally dies. One last flop of the arm over. And, yeah, you can go after Mr. Thompson. And
Yeah.
so, yes, you see that strange view of Thompson seeming to walk hand in hand with somebody along with Matt Vey. I suppose Stanton might be still considering whether he should shoot all these people.
Like, I wanted to, like, go along next to Thompson and try to psychology him.
Okay. Yeah.
Sort of like see if I can snap him out of it,
If you're heading back to the camels, then I'll stay here.
Okay.
I'll dynamite the tunnel.
No, I'm following him because I don't think for a second he's going to stop when he gets back to the camp. I think as soon as he does whatever you asked him to do, he's going to wander off into the city. So
That's fine.
that's
You'll
why I'm going with him.
follow him back to the camp, and I'll stay here, and I'll dynamite the tunnel,
Okay.
and I'll begin prepping.
I'll give him my dynamite.
We have a crate.
Oh,
We
there
have
was
several crates.
crates here. Okay.
And I'll begin prepping the water after I'm done with that.
Okay.
All right, Godspeed, Mr. Wentworth,
I'm
and
going to
keep your eye on them.
Snap him out of it.
When they're like this, they get it kind of tricky.
Yeah. I know. I'm a expert psychology.
Yeah.
Well, the
So tell me how you feel, Mr. Thompson.
the appropriate skill to do that, and it takes time, is psychoanalyze. You can't really help him out of the situation. He has to decide to help himself. I mean, you can keep talking to John as the character. Your psychology might be beneficial for you to know, like, how far gone you think he is.
Right.
But you already got a pretty good look at his initial expressions, and that relieved look he had is not something anybody should be feeling in this circumstance,
Yeah.
So, there is some aspect to his current mode of thought where he's just not taking everything into account,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and, he's my friend now, so
Yes, he's kind of my burden.
I'll just
I
stick
mean, you
with him.
can't always hog tie him.
And yeah, but I'm not convinced
Bad blood.
that I'd be able to do that successfully. So
Yeah. Especially like Matt Vey might join in.
Yeah.
You got two crazies.
Well, that's true. Now we've got another. Yeah. So I'm just going to stick with him and hopefully he'll snap out of it.
Okay. So for that element of the journey, remember you guys traveled for roughly an hour to get out here. And so you were looking at that on the way back. And so staying out here with Stanton was Ray and Marco and Anwar.
Mm-hmm. No, he's going back to camp
He's going back. So Ray and Marco are out here with you, as well as one kneeling man who, now that the interrogation over, just looks at, whatever you guys are doing with interest. But he does not saying anything. But hold on, let me get back to as you guys are traveling. So yeah, Mr. Thompson just walks with this, or rides with this resolute, but you have to match his speed, or you have to convince him to go faster, because he's got his own drum beat going right now.
Wanderlust.
It's neither
type.
fast nor slow, but he doesn't have to stop to navigate like you might have to do. You might have been confused in all of the gunfight, like exactly which of these ravines you
It's
went
dark.
down, and it's
Yeah.
dark, but he's just like an arrow, but also with some factor in for how difficult it would be to travel. He gets you guys back to Iram. And there you see your encampment amongst the city of pillars. And as you guys return, you're immediately accosted by Jackson Elias and Mr. Stedford, both of whom have terrified expressions on their faces, or worried, or concerned, or like their mind is trapped in a moment in the recent past, some PTSD-like behavior, but they're trying to convey, they sort of stumble over one another at first. They start to talk, but then they're like, well, where's the rest of you?
We all made it. There were no casualties. They're back at the camp. And then we brought water so the camels don't die.
We'll be bringing water.
And then more camels need to go.
Yeah, Anwar had instructions to grab some people, right, and come back. So he starts to do that. He's not concerned with that. Just the moment you pause to talk to Nigel and Jackson, Thompson, if you want Thompson, like I said, you still have your own action, but that was the course you were on, so I assume you're going to keep that same pace towards wherever Thaddeus is leading you.
Yeah, I will say the same thing, though, is that there's water and supplies that need to be moved, as Stanton needs you guys to gather people and go back. And then as I'm going by is what I'm doing.
I'm needed elsewhere. Cuckoo.
Even the couple of steps he starts moving, the point where you pause, he's moved a few steps on. He doesn't pause to hear Nigel Stedford or Jackson Elias's comments. You see Professor Ahmed lurking in the back there, his good eye darting this way and that across the city. Now, you do know that you also sent or directed Mr. Whiteman to go down that well with the rest of them, but he's nowhere in sight. But anyhow, yeah. So they paused. They were distracted by where the rest of you were, but now they're back on there. And they pause, share a look, and Jackson, resolving to be the one to talk. He says, "I don't even know where to begin. I don't even know what to tell you about what we saw down there."
What did you see?
I just told you I can't tell you.
It'd be better if you saw for yourself, but I hesitate to right time start the interrogation. And I can make you live a long time, Mr. Elias, but he struggles to find the words, and we've seen all these structures up here that kind of give an indication they're made for somebody smaller. The tunnels, there's a tunnel in that well, or there are a series of tunnels. We spent a couple hours down there, and I only think it was by stroke of luck we got back out, but there are dozens, hundreds of enshrined or mummified creatures of some kind. I don't know, sort of reptilian in appearance, but I won't go any further. It would just confuse the description. I don't know how to describe them beyond that, but they're enshrined in glass and much more beyond that. Maybe if you had a specific question, I don't know much more what I can say other than I didn't feel like we should be in there, and it was a gut thing. I don't know if that means anything to you, Mr. Wentworth, but it's got me out of some situations, so.
Yeah.
And he licks his dry lips, and his eyes kind of dart around. But I know that's what we came here for, so.
Mm-hmm. Did you find anything else? Anything you could bring back? Any books? Any artifacts?
Well, there were things. There were. We were in some halls that had a series of murals that you might be interested in, but like I said, we were only there for a couple hours, and it's sort of abating now. But there's kind of almost like a fugue came over us as we were traveling. I found myself being uncharacteristically irritable with Nigel, the professor, Mr. Whiteman. But, Mr. Whiteman, he fled not very long after we got in there. He said it's not for him. And he left, so he refused to go down. So you'll have to take that up with him if you want him to do what you wanted him to do down there. But once he saw those things in the cases. But It's there's a lot down there, and I don't know how much of it we saw, but I'll be ready to go down there again soon. You know, he licks his lips again. I need a minute, you know.
Well, I think soon enough I'll see for myself and I'll point to Thompson. I'm following him, and I think that's where he's going.
You gotta stop him. You can't go in there haphazard. It's not, you know, you're gonna need to plan it out a little bit better.
No, I think actually he's got it planned better than we could do, because he's following something else. I mean, on the way here in the dark, he never even needed to take a second to get his bearings. He just knew right where to put his feet.
All right, let's pause here for a minute and zoom back over to the other encampment with all the corpses there, where Stanton's gone around and gathered up an amount of dynamite you think is good.
Yeah.
And you want to blow this tunnel entry.
I'll talk to the prisoner guy first.
Okay.
I'll walk over, kind of holding a dynamite stick in my hand. I'll be like, if I blow this tunnel, what are the consequences? And I'll start kind of like bundling them.
If you blow that tunnel, we won't be able to get anything else through that tunnel.
That doesn't sound like a bad deal on my part, but nothing catastrophic.
Unless you need something through that tunnel, then it would be a bad thing.
I've brought everything I've needed.
Well, you know it's hard to see everything you might need, but
that is
I don't
true.
want to take up your time, sir.
Do you have any other camps around here?
No.
This is the only one.
As far as you can tell, you can throw a psychology out.
Oh.
Darn close.
Yeah, but I want the skill up, so it's not worth it.
Well, you know, he's being a little cheeky, you think, but you don't know if he's lying. He says, no, this is the only one.
Forward operating base and all that.
We expected there to be. We didn't think you would be out here. That was an oversight.
That's why one should always be prepared.
Well, one of us won't make it again. We won't make that same mistake.
That's always true.
I'll get a good number of it. Maybe a couple bundles.
Yeah.
And start setting them around the entrance and
run
the length of fuse.
As the agent of chaos that Ray Flanagan is, amongst his talents are demolitions. So he can help you.
Excellent.
Put him in the right spot to collapse the tunnel. Are we gonna have a look in there, boss? Or just curiosity killed the cat, you know? Satisfaction brought him back.
I find it best to not die in the first place, Flanagan.
Good policy.
I'll leave curiosity to those who are paying me. I don't take chances. Blow it.
All right. So, yeah, it takes you maybe 30 minutes to wire it up. It's not a huge tunnel opening enough to get a train car through. Just so. And you guys go off a fair distance. And this Malcolm, you know his name to be from the interrogation, just watches down on his knees, with that curious little look on his face as you collapse the structure that was holding the tunnel walls up, and it just, big puff of dirt comes out, flows through the encampment, and once it clears, you just see a mound of rock and dirt there. You won't be able to get a train through that.
What can you tell me of that beastie that was crawling around? It seemed like my companion's rifle took a fair bit of it off, but I'd like to know what I'm hunting.
Well, they're not local wildlife, I can tell you that much. It's not my specialty. It was Malcolm's specialty.
Aren't you Malcolm?
Well, one of the other ones.
I see.
He had that particular knack. I don't think...
Was it,
and I'll wiggle my fingers and kind of make like a weird...
Yeah. What was it, some of this?
I don't... Like I said, I don't know for sure. I talked a little bit with him. He said they're not a terrestrial being. They come from a planet that influenced their evolution. As far as I know, they're very comfortable in this type of terrain. A super predator is how he described them, a top of the food chain type.
Well, it seems like they can't eat lead.
Well, everything has a weakness, and a lot of them have a weakness to lead.
I've found that to be the case.
But, they're most curious. They don't sustain themselves in the way you might think, as I understand it. A lion has to eat the gazelle.
Or other things.
Yeah, other things that are made of meat. An elephant has to eat what an elephant eats, that sort of thing. And this thing adapted in a arid, lifeless planet, according to what I understand, and it sustains itself somehow. So, what it will do from here, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine.
Unfortunate. Which one was it? That
Malcolm?
Yes, Malcolm, the one that would know this.
Oh,
Was he the one crawling over to the tunnel?
No, that was Matthew, the elevator operator.
Oh,
Again,
the
there's a lot of disdain in his face. Couldn't even shoot.
It's too bad, because right now, it would make me immensely happy if I knew that there was some sort of time limit or expectation on if it could return to whence it came from. But unfortunately, you seem to be useless in that regard.
Well, I think it's here now.
Oh, okay.
I think so. For all time. It is now a terrestrial being. I think.
I'll execute him.
You don't even hear the shot.
Well, not for a while
He
anyway.
just points. It's true.
Look,
All right, so we'll zoom back across to the people following Mr. Thompson in the city of Irem. You go through the pillars in a much straighter shot than your first attempt to find that well opening. And Thompson, you had instructed some of the workers and one of Stanton's men to rig up a kind of an easy system to get down there, and that is in place. So Thompson's sort of examining it to see how exactly it's going to work for him.
mm-hmm.
And it's not difficult to figure out. It's just a loop you put your foot in and you can lower yourself, which he begins to do. Now, the people that followed you were Jackson and Nigel and the professor.
Mm-hmm.
The professor doesn't seem like he was already crazy, so you can't tell anything different about him.
Yeah.
The only two phases you've seen is one where he's sort of arrogant, and then one where it seems like social interaction is something he doesn't want, and he seems to be in that mode right now where he's like, somebody walks within 4 feet of him, he shies away from the passage of that person. So, are you going to follow Thompson down?
Yeah, but I'll tell Jackson he doesn't have to come if he doesn't want to. I know you've already been down there. You
Well,
obviously don't feel right about it.
I
just can't abandon Thompson.
I got a reputation to uphold.
I won't tell anybody.
All right, we'll see what he...
I mean, you're welcome to, but you don't have to.
his courage is in.
Very courageous.
Well, I, on the other hand,
That's
Mr.
right.
Wentworth, will go boil up some tea, if you don't mind. This is from Stedford.
Yeah.
And he gives a fearful glance at the well opening, even as Mr. Thompson. Are you going to stop yourself from lowering down into the well, Mr. Thompson?
No, I'm just going to make sure that Thaddeus gets down safely.
Well, tell Stedford, since he's not going, that if I don't come back, he needs to let Dr. Andrews know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'll tell him to search in Whiteman's effects for the contracts. And make sure those get back to you.
Mr. Wentworth, I don't mean to be macabre, but if you don't come back, what are the instructions for the expedition?
They're all to die.
Well, I was hoping for something a little more hopeful, like
No,
return
yeah.
to civilization
Right.
and abandon this quest.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You don't want us to send anyone after you.
There's nobody that can come after us that would,
Want to?
like we're the experts. I mean, let Stanton know where we went, but he's already fulfilled his contract, so
Okay.
it'll be up to his charity if he wants to come after us.
Yeah, as you had walked through the encampment, Curtis Cooper had tagged along. He didn't see a chance to get a word in edgewise as you were conferring with Mr. Elias, but now he does. He says, Mr. Wentworth, I'd like to come down with you.
Yeah, bring that
And he holds
camera.
his camera up.
Yep.
Okay, so you
Good
guys
fellow.
lower yourselves down the well one by one with this small little expedition crew made up of Mr. Wentworth, Mr. Thompson, Jackson Elias, and Curtis Cooper, and, of course, those companions of yours that died and fell along the way are here as well. At least Mr. Thompson will tell you. And the well is a well, no water at the bottom of it. There's just was you saw when you looked at it originally, there was a section in the wall where there was an opening.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go into an opening and it leads into a small and cramped tunnel, you think maybe 6 feet in exact, like a square height and width. So some of you can stand fully erect, but some of you must hunch a little bit. And there are, you think, 4 strange curiosities as you begin to travel. The first is a slight mildew smell that suggests water, the most powerful you've smelled yet. You smell it generally in the city, but specifically you smell it down here, but there's no indication of water, no history of water, no actual mildew, no things that might grow in a dank place that has access to water. And it would have been torturous if you had been when you first arrived, but since you guys have had the opportunity to refresh yourself, it's just an idle curiosity. What kind of lighting do you guys have? There's no lighting down here. Are you flashlights?
Yeah, I got a flashlight.
Okay.
Just got my peepers.
There's some sort of interference with it. And Jackson actually is like, oh, I did forget to mention that. My torch quit working a few minutes in. You know, take one of these, and he gives you, like, an actual lamp.
Okay.
They seem to hold a little bit better. Okay, so third, you would expect to see dust, webs, maybe some sort of indication of a long abandoned place, but it is surprisingly clean down here, as though it's swept through regularly. However, there is like a layer of undisturbed sand on the floor that you can see the passage of Nigel and Jackson when they were down here earlier. You can see their footprints go off and then come back. So it's kind of messed up a little bit. Now, the fourth oddity, and this is the biggest oddity, is the presence of these glass coffins. They're like upright, set in the walls, maybe every 12 feet. And inside is a body that appears to be mummified or at least dehydrated, right? But upon glancing them, go ahead and give me a sanity roll, including you, Mr. Thompson. Fail. All right, so for those of you that failed, you lose a D6. It looks like Curtis Cooper here might have a moment of indiscretion. The rest of you...
now can I try and snap myself out of it?
The underlying insanity? Sure.
And what's the loss on this one?
Oh, wait, you are so low. Well, you get those... you do 5 points instead of the 4 that you rolled.
These are reptilian bodies?
Yes. Shorter in stature than you. They range in size from about 4 to feet. I mean, you can see a few on both sides of the wall, and they appear to be bipedal. They largely resemble a cross between, and this is why Jackson stopped himself, because you should take this as they have aspects of these creatures, but they don't look exactly like there's something between crocodiles. It's like in the way that their snout is sort of elongated, and then something like a seal in the way that they have these purely black eyes, which somehow still seem to gleam despite the mummified state of their bodies. And something else that you can't quite put your finger on, it reminds you of, but you're not quite sure. Their feet end in human-like feet. Their hands end in human-like hands and fingers. Their heads are slightly oversized when compared to their frail bodies, so you could kind of think of little green men in a way, just with some slightly different features. So anyhow, let's pay the sanity cost here. Let's take a look.
All right, I forgot. Can I do an intelligence to... Is that part of...
Well, you didn't lose enough
Okay.
sanity to have a bout of madness, but Mr. Thompson and Curtis Cooper sure did, so I'll take a look at what Curtis Cooper does here. Violence for 9 rounds.
Man after my own heart.
All right. Mr. Thompson? You want me to roll the table, or do you have some way that you like to think of Mr. Thompson when he breaks?
As I don't know, I do like the idea of violence because he's normally such a reserved guy, right? But go ahead and roll one. Let's see what it comes up with.
Phobia.
Gonna find out if the glass stops bullets.
Let's see. Where is my phobia table? Try a couple random ones, see if we get anything. Fear of the wind.
What was that?
Fear of people with amputation.
Ariophobia, fear of infinity, fear of cats, that might fit, but not here. Chromophobia, fear of colors.
Fear of clocks. Fear of England or English culture.
That's always a good one to have.
Anglophobia. All right, so I think what we'll do, the most obvious one is like sort of a claustrophobia. It's too small for you. I got to get out. I can work with the fear of the wind because you've seen twice this sort of breathing in and out of the city. And for some reason, you're struck by this wild idea that what leaves the city at night are the spirits that inhabit these enshrined beings, whatever they are. And you need to get out of here before the wind comes back because that's them coming back to rest. And you don't want to be here when the spirits are in their bodies. What do you think of that, Mr. Thompson?
Yeah, that'll work.
So you can act based off of that knowledge, and I'll act for Curtis Cooper, who his violence manifests as he starts pulling on pretty roughly on you, Mr. Wentworth, and he's like, we have to get out of here. We can't be down here. This is against God. We got to go.
Okay. So,
but he's pulling on you at the moment, like physically. It is enough. In your particular case, you can easily overpower him. He has no ability to fight you.
Right.
Really.
Yeah. So for him, that's what I'll do is like
slap him upside the head.
Snap out of it.
That's
man.
how to take 1d4 off the
stiff upper lip
round counter.
Yeah.
Right.
As I'll scream out that when it breathes in, it steals your soul. And start pushing my way back towards the entrance.
Oh, for crying out loud.
They can't make up their mind.
Professor Ahmed, looking at you dead on with his ruined eyes, says, let them go. You and I will go together. And that's where we'll stop playing today. Thanks for playing, guys.
I think you got 6 responses when a madman tells you to just go into the woods with me.
Yeah.
Let's go into this abandoned crypt. Thanks, Travis, by the way. Sorry.
No problem. This has been a Deathwatch production. Thank you for listening.